Greetings and welcome to the Barbara Gentry-Pugh Show. I'm so excited that you were able to join us today because I have as my special guest Patrice Renee Henderson. She goes by Patrice Renee for reasons she may want to share with you a little bit later. I'm just really happy to have you today, Patrice, as my special guest.
Happy to be here.
Well, good. Welcome. And I'm just excited what you're going to be sharing with our audience today. Patrice is a freelance fashion stylist, and she believes that styling is about defining your inner beauty and creating looks that make you shine throughout. Boy, that sounds good. I really want to shine throughout. So I think Patrice is going to be able to help me and help our audience today know what it is to become that person through what they wear.
Exactly.
Is that what is that what you do?
Yes, I believe styling is more of your inner beauty. And so whatever you wear, whatever you're trying to do or whatever you're trying to accomplish any day, your look should represent that. So if I'm looking for a promotion in the workplace, I definitely want to visualize what I want to accomplish through that. Should I go by what the brand represents, or do I want it to be an individual approach? And then I have to work on what my personality is, because I want to show that as well in the look. And I need to focus on my physical attributes as well. So the person as a whole is what I look at when I'm styling them, and not just what's going to look good on them and what they like.
So what they're trying to accomplish, you can accentuate that and help them to get the promotion or whatever they're looking to do.
Exactly.
That you can enhance their inner beauty so that it can shine through. I'm just excited to have you today because I have so many questions about fashion, the trend of fashion today. We see a more casual look, and I just want to know what you think about that. I can remember 10 or 15 years ago where there was a certain type of dress. They would say dress for success. How would you define dress for success today?
Dressing for the success it varies because everyone's success is different, and every company or individual event you attend, the success for that specific person is going to be different. So dressing for success overall would basically determine on exactly what you want to accomplish for your success. So for someone that is looking to build a brand, they're going to want to focus on what their brand represents and how they want to be portrayed to whoever's going to be a client or invest in their brand.
Because I've seen some certain speakers and they would always wear a certain color.
Right.
I know this one speaker always wears black and white, some combination, and she does an excellent job on those two colors. She either wears white with some accents of black, or she'll wear a black dress with some accents of white. So what does that mean? Is that something that she wants to be known for, something that she just likes? She doesn't seem to use various colors. So how would you define that?
Well, usually the colors are carefully selected. Like for me, example, my brand focuses on inner beauty, and so my color selection is purple because purple represents royalty, and I feel like all my clients should have the royal treatment. And for the person that you're talking about, she may have chosen white as her color because color, it represents success in the beginning. So she's after her success, and it also represents a clean and purity. So whatever her brand that she's developed, she's chosen those colors because that's going to attract whatever her brand is.
And that makes sense because she does wear probably more white than black. And she talks a lot about purity, living a pure life. That's kind of the surrounding theme of what she speaks about and what she wrote about in her book. So that makes sense. So it makes sense once you understand what's going on with the color scheme. So I understand that now. I have a little bit better understanding about it.
Okay,
so.
good.
Okay. Well, I'd just like to tell you a little bit more about Patrice. She is She got her associate degree in advertising and marketing and communications from the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York, and she got her bachelor's of science degree in apparel merchandising and product development from Bowling Green University. So you know what you're talking about. You've been to the
Yes.
schools that can train you to be able to help various clients. Tell me about some of the clients you've had the opportunity to serve.
So one of my newest clients is a news reporter, and so for her, it's that she doesn't have the time, and I really work with her to build her style. So it's a very intimate relationship, and it's getting to know what her personality is, what she likes to do, what how to work with her in terms of what she already does like to wear, and kind of develop it into her as a person.
So she became a client of yours so that she could build a certain look overall, or
Well, she actually wanted to work on her look for one,
okay.
and then she has a very busy schedule, so she needed someone that could be her personal shopper as well.
Okay.
And then, of course, as a news reporter, you always want to work on your success. So I make sure that her looks are going to build her towards that success.
Okay, so wardrobe, dress does matter when we were talking
Oh,
about dress for
definitely.
success earlier. Okay. Um, I noticed that you also work with Nolay from the Tyra Banks show. How did you service her?
Well, he's
Oh,
actually
he, I'm sorry.
no, it's no problem. I and I actually, when I attended the Fashion Institute of Technology, they allowed us to have the opportunity to volunteer for New York Fashion Week. So
Okay.
when I volunteered for New York Fashion Week with Laurice Duran, he was the stylist for his fall 2010 runway presentation. And so I actually assisted him in styling, and I actually felt I had a little bit of input on what the looks were, because I would suggest, oh, maybe we should, do the button here or add a piece here, and then you actually feed off each other from that. So that's how I came about doing that.
Okay. So what are some other clients you've had, some other known clients that you've had? You worked with Victoria's Secret. You've used some of their...
Well, because I've worked in retail for 7 years, so I have a wide variety of different brands, and but like with Victoria's Secret, I'm also able to determine what their intimate sizes are and how to work with their intimate apparel for what they wear, so that nothing's showing through, or you don't want to show your bra strap and things like that. And I've also worked for BCBG Max Azure, which is a brand that actually complements what my company is, because they focus on good taste and good style and good attitude. And so for that clientele, I was able to pull from there.
So if I decided to come on board as a client of yours, I'm really interested in color. What colors should I wear? And I know that we haven't had an opportunity off camera to really talk about that, but how do you determine a color, what looks best on a person? And am I doing okay today?
I actually do like your look today.
Okay.
I can tell you have a great sense of style. But to focus on color, I use a guideline for determining if you're a warm tone, cool tone, or if you're neutral. And even if you are neutral, you're going to be closer to the warm tone or cool tone category. So if you're neutral, I'm cognizant of that, but then I focus on what's going to be warm tone or cool tone. So if you're good cues to look at to figure out what your undertones are, is you're going to look at your veins. If they look more blue to you, then that means that you're cool tone. If they look a little bit more green, then that means you're warm tone. It doesn't mean that you have green veins, or obviously our veins are going to be blue.
Okay, so what color am I supposed to be here today?
So looking at yours, you're going to be warm tone.
Warm tones.
So that means you're going to focus on earthier colors. You're going to focus on the warmer colors on the color wheel, which means brighter colors are going to look best on you.
Reds. I don't...
You can do pretty much any color on the color wheel, but the shade of the color is going to be what's going to determine. But then as well, if you're Like for me, I know I like a lot of different colors, and then it may not look best on me, but I know if I style it correctly, it's going to bring out that look. So matching it with some of the other colors that look best on you can kind of complement the whole look as a whole.
Okay. Tell us about your personal shopping. So if I didn't have time to shop and I was in the category of some of the names like maybe Oprah that probably has a personal shopper, I'm sure she does. How would you service me on a lower scale if I didn't have time to really coordinate what I need to coordinate for a particular look every day in the work world?
I'm going to figure out what amount of time you have and what needs you need. Because I do categorize my clients in 3 different levels. And it basically focuses on, the main priority is time. Because some people have a sense of style, but they just don't have the time to ensure that their style is what they want, or they don't have time to even just go shopping and pick up something. So for you, if you have most of my clients fall into the Luke's client categories, which means that they do have enough time to invest into their personal wardrobe, but they want to have someone that's going to develop their wardrobe. And so shopping with them is going to be one of the things I do. The closet auditing, which is going to their houses and organizing their closets and figuring out what they should keep or which they should sell or give away. Or if they're looking for, if they've gone through something serious in their life and they just want to get a whole new look so they can forget about the past, we're going to do a style transformation, developing a new look for themselves and making sure they stick to that. And then there's also just styling itself. So if you're someone that does have the time to shop and you just want to pick out things that you like, but then you have me come in and then I'll make sure that the look as a
coordinating.
whole. Yes. Right.
So what do you do with people like me that tend to hold on to things that you either paid a lot for, you just really like, and you don't want to get rid of it, but you really can't really get in it? What would you suggest?
Well, that's actually one of the main reasons that people want me as a closet auditor, because some people, they know that they can organize their look, but then they kind of need someone to do it because they don't have the time to do it. But it's really difficult to let go of certain things when you paid a lot of money for it, or you purchased it or you got it as a gift from someone and it has sentimental value to you. And it's just hard in general for us to, once we buy something, to let it go. But what I do is I ask myself 3 questions, or I ask my clients these 3 questions when they're doing their closet audit. It's basically, when am I going to wear this? When's the last time I've worn this? And where am I going to wear this to? Because I know there's a lot of brands that create pieces that we love, but we just let them hang in the closet because we have nowhere to wear them to. Or you just hold on to it and you just never wear it. So kind of thinking of that kind of answers the question and says, well, if yes is not the answer to all those questions, then you need to just let it go. And bringing it to the point where someone else who doesn't have the money to purchase an item, you can give that away and it'll benefit them, or you can make some money off of it. So that's going to be the positives to get rid of it.
You know, thinking of clothing, I know you do that. What about jewelry? Because that is really an important piece these days, because the trend changes, and that brings in either jewelry, the large jewelry, or then sometimes the small jewelry. What advice would you give in terms of purchasing? Because I'll see a new piece and it looks so nice, but I don't have anything to wear it with just now. But I like it, and so maybe I'll buy it thinking that I'll put it on with something I like later.
Well, I actually have my own online jewelry and accessories boutique.
Okay.
And so I do have a lot of information on jewelry and what's gonna look best, what's gonna be valuable, and basically I use the jewelry as to accent your look. It's kind of like my last step in the look process, because your jewelry shouldn't, depending on what your look is, like, you don't want it to take away from what your focus is. If your focus is on the jewelry, then you're going to pick the jewelry first, obviously. But if you want something that's just going to accent what you already have, then you have to be careful. For example, if you have a dress that has a lot of sequins and it's very over the top, you need very little jewelry. Or if you're going to wear earrings, you maybe just want to do a stud, but don't wear a necklace, and maybe just want to add a ring, but not a bracelet. But if you have a look like, say, for my top, it's very basic. So I put this little bow tie necklace on to bring out the rest of the look.
Okay. So if someone wanted to get in touch with you today, how would they get in touch with you? And if they really don't know what they need or what they want, how would you go about advising them?
Well, the best advice would be to visit my website, which is patricerenee.com. And there's a contact form where you can just put in, write down what you're looking for, or just send a little note for me, and I'll get that in my email, and I'll contact you that way. And then we'll basically have a one-on-one consultation where we figure out what you need and what I can bring to the table. And then I'll figure out your sizing, I'm going to give you your measurements and all of that. So then we can figure out exactly what's going to work for you.
And then you go shopping for that person if that person wants you to shop for them. And I guess if you don't really know that person, how can you just go shopping immediately? Or do you spend some time getting to know that person? Do you go to their house and look and see what they've purchased before? How do you...
Well, with the one-on-one consultation, it's all included
Okay.
in that. Like I'm figuring out their body type, I'm figuring out their personality, I'm figuring out what brands they already like, what they already purchased. And it can be, depending on, like, if the first thing they want is personal shopping, or if they want styling, I'm going to have to take that time to look at their closet. But depending on what their needs are, it may not necessarily be the first step that we have to take. But I also do complimentary styling services, which is online personal shopping. So for someone that just doesn't have much time and all you do is just want to get looks put together for them, and then they just go ahead and purchase it, that's that one option too.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends on what they're looking for, but I get to know them as a whole before.
Okay. Some time ago, they had a lot in various magazines or catalogs for shopping. They'll coordinate pieces. You'll get a basic suit, and then you'll add a particular blouse, something that you can alternate. Is that the kind of thing you would do to maximize where they won't have to buy so many pieces, or how do you go about doing that?
Well, I definitely think investment pieces are very important, and to basically call them your go-to pieces that are gonna, because you want to mix and match with your wardrobe. That way you can almost create a whole new look every time. But that's more so for someone that is basically building a whole new wardrobe, because I feel like most people already have a certain amount of those pieces already, and maybe they just need to upgrade it. Maybe they need to sell that one piece, and we just get them a whole new black blazer that they're going to wear, pretty much every day. But yeah, it really depends on what their needs are at that time. So for someone that already has their style together, then it maybe just be seeing what pieces they should add to what they already have.
Okay. Trends and styles just change so rapidly. And I'm going to ask you kind of maybe not a personal question, but what do you feel about is it spandex, the tights that they're wearing now? How do you fit those, the leggings?
Okay.
You were saying there were different types of leggings, and talk about the appropriateness. I don't know that I understand when to wear leggings, who should wear leggings.
I think the biggest misconception about leggings is that you can wear them as pants, because they're not pants.
Okay.
They're basically, usually the legging, when it first came out, it was something to kind of do as a layering piece. So if you have a long top, which is a tunic, then you can just add a piece, you can just add leggings to that look, so that it's more appropriate for the fall. So it's not like you don't have to wear denim underneath it with this top that looks almost like a dress. But as leggings became more popular, there's been so many different things that they've added to it, and it's kind of been a little bit confusing. So the only time I would probably suggest wearing leggings with as if they were pants is only if you're gonna get some leggings that are leather or the material is very thick, but then that wouldn't necessarily be appropriate for certain body types. But overall, the leggings should not be treated
As a part of a wardrobe,
right. It shouldn't
like
be.
a
It shouldn't be.
pants.
It shouldn't be your pants. It should be something you add to whatever
Okay.
you're wearing.
Okay, so you'll be able to help those that would like to wear leggings, um, help them to wear it appropriately.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So you also do personal styling. Can you help us understand the three levels, the VIP clients, the premier clients, and what that means?
So personal styling is generally working with your wardrobe and adding to it if need be. But with most of my clients, is I'll just create a lookbook for them for what they already have in their closet. So if they're not sure what to wear each day, they can just refer to their lookbook and say, oh, I can wear this with this, and that's going to work. And it's just the easier way for them to get dressed. But for some of the VIP clients, those would be the clients that have a lot of events they need to go to, and they need a complete head to toe look as far as they want their hair done, they want their makeup done, they need those extravagant dresses. They need someone to really help them get dressed and ready to go. So for that person, it's going to be for that person, I'm going to have my hairstylist and makeup artist come along with me to their home, and we're going to help them get dressed and ready to go. But for the Luke's client, it's more for the person that they want that one-on-one intimate time with you. They don't have those extravagant events they need to attend, but they want someone that's really going to help them with their wardrobe.
And their makeup and their hair, the whole bit.
Right. And then for the premier client, it's just someone that they just want a little help getting their pieces that they've already purchased together.
Okay. So how receptive are most of your clients? Because sometimes you might have some suggestions that they don't buy into. How would you deal with that? I mean, sometimes we develop a certain style, right or wrong, we develop it, and we think we look okay. And how do you say, well, maybe this look would be better for you? Do you meet much resistance, or how do you deal with that?
Well, during the consultation, I want to get to know, I get to know my clients. So I get to know how to approach them when things like that happen. But it's important for me not to say you can't wear this, because you can't tell someone what they can't wear.
It's true.
Because it's them. They're the ones going to wear it, so don't tell me not to wear something I can't wear. But I think it's important to justify why you've made a decision and why you decided look is going to be better versus the other look, and asking them questions so they can think and reconsider, and they may say, oh, you know what, you're right, this is going to be better because, okay, I'm glad you talked me into it.
Okay. So what about shoes? I admired your shoes today. I probably could never wear them, but do you also coordinate the outfit with the shoes and the other accessories?
Yes, it's a complete look. So it's going to be your intimates, it's going to be your top or your dress you wear, the blazer, the coat you wear. It's going to be head to toe, complete look. I just bring along my hairstylist and makeup artist when that's appropriate.
And the shoes, I'm still stuck on the shoes. The size of the height of the heel and the style of the shoe. How do you determine that?
Well, I definitely have a certain personal style choice on the heels, but it's going to depend on what the person is used to, what their comfort zone is, and how we can elevate to the next level. So someone who has never worn heels before, I'm not going to have them wear a 6-inch heel right off the bat. We may start off with 2 inches, see how they like that, or how they like the pointed toe versus the round toe, or do they like the platform for the more support, and how much they're willing to invest in their shoes, because it is shoes are one of the pieces that are a very good investment because they're on your feet. You're wearing them. You're walking everywhere. It's very important to have a good heel, especially if you're gonna be wearing them often.
Okay.
So it's definitely working with what they do and how we can elevate it.
Okay. So we've talked a lot about the closet auditing. What about the transformation and completely just starting from scratch and building a wardrobe? How often do you have the opportunity to do that sort of thing? I mean, that seems to be pretty drastic.
It's very drastic. So it definitely is for someone. It could be, and it could happen with someone that's been one of my clients for a long time, and they just not decide to do that.
Okay.
But it's usually for the someone who who believes they have no sense of style or fashion, and they want a complete look, or they say, "Oh, I want your look. How do I dress like you?" Or it's also for someone that they may have gone through something traumatic in their lives, or they're really trying to accomplish something, they believe that their look now is not working for them. And so the style transformation is going to be determined by what their story is, and it's still going to go to that consultation of figuring out who they are and how we can transition the new them without them not completely letting go of who they were.
Okay. And I saw something about your business partners, your fashion shows, your photo booth, your TV movie experiences. Tell me about that.
Okay, so as the personal stylist, I also work with different businesses as their wardrobe stylist. Right now I'm with Mish Fash TV, so I'm
Miss.
Mish Fash TV, so it's basically an abbreviation for Michigan Fashion, and then it's a televised program that's on demand and YouTube. So for the host, I make sure that on set that they're dressed properly, everything's working for them. I'm also when the hosts go to the boutiques to interview them, I'm gonna be the stylist for them, make sure that they're dressed during their interviews for them. So I complete those looks. And then there's also, for fashion shows, I'll work with designers that are going to be putting on the fashion shows to properly style their looks. Because believe it or not, some designers are only there to design. They're not really focused on styling and putting pieces together. So I'm basically that additional support for them.
Do you have a particular stylist or a particular designer that seems to work best across the board for everyone, or do you just use different designers based on the person?
Well, during the consultation, I try to figure out what brands they already like and figure out why they like them and see if those brands actually cater to them, because believe it or not, many brands, they have a set clientele and who their pieces are for, and they design for that clientele. And so some people may like things, but they say, "Oh, it doesn't look right on me, and I don't know why I can't." And it's just, well, that's what the brand is. The brand is catering.
For
So
a particular.
I work with what they like, and then I try to develop into what they should.
Okay. So this has been very informative, and I'm going to have to go and rethink my closet and look and just see what I can get rid of, because I do have quite a few things that I've just been holding on to, and have to use your services to see if I'm doing it right, if I'm dressing dressing right. So tell our audience how they can get in contact with you and what you have to offer again, so they'll be very clear about that.
Definitely visit my website at patricerenee.com. That's PATRICERENE.com, and they'll be able to fill out the contact form there. They can also email me at patrice.henderson218@gmail.com, and Henderson is HENDERSON.
Okay.
And they can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Did I see Pinterest too?
Yes, I'm also on Pinterest.
Okay. I'm getting very comfortable, I think. I'm trying to with the social media. And I saw that you were also on quite a few, so that's good. They can contact you at either one. And your website has a lot to offer too as well. And they can peruse your website and see what you have to offer. So I'm just thankful that you were able to come here today and help me out in my wardrobe and give me the okay. Did I get the okay today?
You did get out the okay, and thank you for having me.
Okay. This has been the Barbara Gentry-Pugh Show, and we will see you next time.